So this is an odd confession, right? I was a huge Balika Vadhu fan.
So was I. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course you were.
Thank you.
And I remember at that point, my mum got hooked to that show. And so I would sit with her and I would also watch, and I also got hooked to that show. And I remember at that point thinking, what a interesting and progressive sort of idea to do a show with. How did that happen? How did you wind up on that show?
So that show, I was actually doing a TV show.
How old were you?
I was 21, 22.
Oh, okay, you looked a lot younger.
22. Yeah. I had already done a TV show called Dharamveer by then.
Yes.
And it was a popular TV show and I played the titular part. So I was almost famous. I got Dharamveer because of the Disney show. So post Dharamveer, I got the offer because most of the people knew me. So I came in midway.
But that cast was stellar. There were some really talented actors that you were,
phenomenal people.
You were on screen with.
And I also sort of, whenever I have the opportunity, I always talk about my Balika Vadhu experience because it was a major pivot point in my learning.
How so?
Because of the people that you're talking about. The star cast, the technicians that I worked with, the impact the show had and the responsibility that automatically came along with the impact of the show. It was a very different TV set, Faye. It was not a TV set wherein you went there, you shot for 16 hours a day, you would just go out there and deliver and just aim to hit the TRP mark. It was a very informed TV show. We were cognizant of what we do, despite the competition market hitting its peak. Shows were rating like 24, 25. New sponsorships had opened, television, and there were new channels coming in. But the makers of Balika Vadhu, and that also sort of reflected upon how the actors performed on set, were very cognizant of what they're doing.
You did leave television later because you felt that the stories that were being told were not progressive enough, right?
Not progressive enough, yes. One very important reason, I was underutilized. I was almost sleepwalking. In between, I was fortunate. I had a chance to do a show called Baba Aisa Var Dhundo.
Yes.
Which was on NDTV Imagine. It was a love story, a beautiful love story about social taboos, about a protagonist who was vertically challenged and a so-called normal guy, and how the society sees the two of them as a couple. And that show did really well. So I was very proud and happy until then. But then things were not changing. I was hungrier. I wanted to go out there, do what I really wanted to do. I was financially stable. I got my first house at 24. And I wanted to sort of make sure that my parents are sleeping sound, because एक middle class family की चिंता यही होती है कि बेटा settle हो जाओ. Settle हो जाओ का क्या मतलब होता है? बेटा तुम घर ले लो और शादी कर लो.
Yeah.
तो उसका एक aspect तो मैंने पूरा कर दिया. And that is when I thought, I want to sort of try newer avenues because I felt underutilized. And also, yes, the content was very repetitive and regressive. Regressive and repetitive made it worse. So even if I sort of moved from one broadcaster to another, or one producer or creative director to another, everybody was doing the same thing because everybody was competing with each other.
Yeah.
Everybody
the
wanted to
suits
outdo
were running
each other.
the storyline.
Yeah. The ratings were.
Yeah, the ratings were.
The ratings were.
Yeah.
So if you saw an Ekta Kapoor in one of her K shows get a rating of 24, someone who's getting a 5 wanted to exactly replicate that and aim for a 10. So वैसा था. It was extremely competitive. There was a massive clutter. I did not subscribe to a lot of things that I was asked to do, because there came a point when I was like, यार ये नहीं होगा मेरे से यार. I can't beat a woman. I don't want to do that. मतलब मुझे अजीब लग रहा है अब. Yeah.
The slapping with the lightning bolt.
Yeah, I mean, but I had a great time. And a lot of what I have learned is because of TV.